I get in trouble a lot of the time. Well, I get in trouble a lot of the time here. Like, for example, if I forget to ask Keisha if I could have one of her oranges, she goes crazy. In a way, I can understand because I was just like that as a kid. Like, I was like that with my brother. I would have my mom buy me stuff, and I'd put it in the fridge. And he would go and take one. Because, and I'll tell him a bunch of times, stop taking my yogurts. They're not for you, they're for me. I'm trying to make these yogurts last 2 weeks so that way I can save money on the groceries. Like when my mom was grocery shopping or when I got a job and I decided to do my own shopping. I hated that. Like my dad would think I'm crazy because I go nuts about stupid stuff like like having to share food in the house. Like I'm not saying like if Keisha made a big dinner I wouldn't share. I would. But I'm saying if I did separate grocery shopping, I'd have trouble sharing. And like that's the only thing that like, that's probably the only weird thing I have that's like quirky about me, because like everybody's got something about them that people find annoying. It's like that with everyone. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So I know that I know at the end of the day it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from it. But maybe half the time it's hard to learn from it because every time I do something, I'll be wanting to do it again. And I'll be thinking like, oh, well, maybe Keisha's in a good mood. She's not going to care if I do that today. Like that, she's not going to care that I left my dishes in the sink. But nope. If I don't get those dishes clean by a certain time, she gets mad. And like sometimes, I don't know. Like half the time, when you live in someone else's house, there's rules that you gotta follow. And a lot of times I don't always understand that because I grew up in a house where there was no rules and no structure. Well, the only rule in the house, for me anyway, was I can't have a boyfriend, no sex until marriage, and you can't be gay in my house. And a lot of that stuff, the only thing that was hard for me to follow that rule was probably the gay part, like the bisexual part of me. Because like a lot of times my friends, they knew that like I was in the closet. And it was hard on me because my friends, they weren't exactly good friends. They were kind of like if you ever seen the show Mean Girls, or not the show, the movie, it was kind of like Mean Girls. Like if you're in a clique, you pretty much gotta always watch what you say around who you hang out with, because the minute they snap or the minute they get mad, with a lot of girls, they're not going to direct their anger towards you. They're going to talk like they're a little bit angry and then end up getting back at you. Like, don't get mad, get even. That's one thing I can't stand, the mentality, don't get mad, get even. I would rather you get mad and be mad at me out front than to end up screwing me over later. I'd rather just get chewed out up front. Because at least that way, 5 minutes later, 2 hours later, you'll be over it. Now my brother, on the other hand, he was more like the type, he didn't he got even. He didn't get mad. Like, if I made him mad, or my mom made him mad, even if it was whether me or my mom, I one time left my phone in the house, in my bedroom, and left the door open in my bedroom. He goes in my bedroom. And he threw my cell phone on the ground and smashed it. Like, smashed the shit out of it. And I cannot believe he did that. I was like, what? What the F? Are you effing kidding me? I said it in a way like I was screaming, like, are you effing kidding me? Oh my God. Jesus. I couldn't believe it. The shit a nice girl gotta go through in their life. You believe that? I don't. It's like you take a nice, innocent girl, and then they grow up like that, with a brother that's a bully. Well, with parents treating them like they're, well, sheltering the girl. And then a brother that's like a bully. That's not an easy combination. But that's weird. When me and my brother got older and he saw that, like, my parents weren't really there for me, like, after my mom passed and I was just living with him and my dad. It was depressing. Like, sometimes I wonder like what my life would be if I changed certain things. And sometimes I think like everything happens for a reason. Like I wasn't really challenged as a kid. I was sheltered and ended up, when my mom died, it's like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And like my mom's death kind of affected me in a big way. Like, for example, I was prostituting when I was when I was old enough age. Like when I was like 21, I started doing it. I stopped like probably like about 8 months ago when I started YouTubing, and it's like hopefully YouTube has been everything to me. Like, even though I may not edit the videos or do the thumbnails, I like doing the video because anytime if I do anything wrong, I like the fact that Junior will give me one of his like motivational speeches or motivational pep talks, and it's like my whole thought about like whether I want to do videos or not, or continue to do YouTube, it changes. Like one day I could be like, I'm feeling depressed, I don't know if I want to do a video, and I'll be like, and then there'll be like a little voice in my head that tells me like, come on, Amber, you can do it. Just believe in yourself. And I'll end up going in there, like going into the video at first nervous and shaky, and then come out confident with a completely different attitude. And it just surprises me. It's like, off camera, A lot of times if I seem shy on camera, off camera I'm nothing like that. Like off camera, if I think I'm in the house and no one else sees what I'm doing except the 2 other people I live with, I'll pretty much be my complete self. Like myself, when I have my days where I'm really mad, I'll sometimes do a lot of cussing. And Keisha, she deals with a lot with me. Like, a lot of times I'll steal food out of the fridge. And then end up lying about it. Like, because in a black house, it's different from a Caucasian house. In a black house, you gotta ask before you go in someone's fridge. I mean, you gotta ask before you go in the fridge. Now, in a white household, if it's like people you know, people you see all the time, they don't really care about you going in the fridge. You could just go in there, and they don't even say nothing. Like, that's how my cousins were anyway. I mean, I don't know if they said anything or if they were most likely talking behind my back when I would do it, but when I was growing up, no one taught me that that was wrong. They didn't teach me that that was wrong. And they didn't really teach me how to cross the street. It's taken me, like, living here to learn how to cross the street. That's sad and almost a good thing. Like, the good thing would be learning how to cross the street. The bad thing was how long it took. Like, my maturity, my mom would always say this about my brother, but I think we're a lot alike in some weird ways. My mom would always say that his maturity was like 3 years behind. Honestly, I think mine is too. It's like a lot of times I never realized how karma, like how it worked, the whole what goes around comes back around. But it definitely came back around because this one girl, I would always talk bad about her behind her back. And then when I got older, I pretty much grew up to be the same person that I would always make fun of. Like when I was a kid. And sometimes you pretty much gotta watch what you say to people because what you make fun of is gonna come back to bite you later. Because you're gonna be in that same situation. So that's why you guys should always learn to humble yourselves at an early age, because you never know what your life is going to be like once you move out of the house. And one thing you should do, be good to your parents and your family, because it is really sad. It's really sad when they change their numbers and you can't get in touch with them. Like, that is the most annoying thing. Or when they think that the only time you call them is when you need money. Like, I pretty much go through that. And it's sometimes hard on me. Because it's like people that you thought cared about you, that sheltered you, by the time you move out, they think like, well, that's good. We don't got to shelter her no more. Now she had the house. We don't have to talk to her. And they just act like they washed their hands of you. Like, honestly, I think personally, if I did not meet my ex, I probably would have never left the house because I was scared. I was scared as hell, thinking about what I'd be like if I had to live with other people or live on my own. And like, I can't believe how, like, all the stuff I went through kind of made me like a stronger person. Because when I was growing up, I was a very weak-minded person. Like, I was scared of everything, afraid to take a risk. And that's like, as I got older, it's like, I kind of slowly like toughened up a little bit, like little by little, not a lot, to where I would just purposely jump into a fight. Like, I'm not that type of person. I probably never will be. Like, me personally, I'm like the type where if I get into an argument with someone, 5 minutes later I'll forget it happened. And I'll be like, well, what are you mad about? What's wrong? And then whoever I say that to, they'll be like, really? And then shake their head. I always thought it was weird, like my teacher, my psychology teacher, he was like that. I always thought that was weird. It's like, you get older, and whatever you think is weird, you end up doing it once you're older. Or whatever you didn't think would make sense, you end up becoming that as you get older. I've just found that interesting. Like, to me, I feel like ever since I lost my virginity, I just completely changed from the girl I was when I had it. It's like, now that I'm older, it's like, some days I just don't care about anything. Like, some days I can just be like carefree and not care about anything. And the other days I could be like extremely emotional or just angry and not know why. Like, sometimes that gets on my nerves. Like, she'll sometimes say in the house, like, Amber, you really set the tone in this house. It's like, she'll say, like, if Amber wants to be nice, she'll be like, if I want to be nice, it's pretty much, a lot of times in the house, it does seem like things don't always go right. Like, one day I could wake up and I'm just mad and don't want to do anything. And that just annoys the heck out of me. That I have trouble with, like, procrastinating or just being lazy. And that's my problem. That always gets me into, like, that always gets me into arguments. Like, whether it was now or when I was a kid, I never really took in consideration that if I'm not lazy, then the people around me aren't going to be upset. Or if I stop lying, that the people around me will have no reason to yell at me. Because I lie, you guys, I lie about the dumbest things. Like, I'm not... I lie about the dumbest things. Like, it's just crazy. When I could just tell the truth. Because in a way it would be easier to just tell the truth instead of just saying a lie. But sometimes it's like I get all scared like I did something wrong and then jump to a lie. So it's like part of me just has like a kid mentality. Like just a kid mentality. Like almost like I don't want to grow up. But it's like I have to grow up because I'm in a 28-year-old body, and sometimes I feel like a 16-year-old trapped in a grown-up's body. Well, I'm gonna close out now. So you guys, thank you for sitting here and eating and talking with me. I had a lot of fun. Hope y'all enjoy your weekend, enjoy your holidays. Love you guys. Bye.